Some of the most capable people I know aren't struggling because they lack talent. They're struggling because they stopped trusting themselves and they started holding back. There's a difference between being capable and believing that you're capable. And that gap is where a lot of people get stuck. We hesitate, we second guess, and we stay quiet in moments that matter. We don't raise our hand, we don't share our ideas, we don't ask for what we need and want, and we don't bet on ourselves. And it's not because we're not ready or that we're not qualified. It's that we let fear and doubt dictate what we do. Now, here's what I've learned. Sometimes in order to get through that, in order to stop muting ourselves, stop holding ourselves back like so many of us do, we have to experience a moment of disruption. Something that challenges the way we think and the way that we show up. And my hope is that today, my promise, my commitment to you today is that this keynote is going to be a moment of disruption in your life that you are going to remember. That you are going to walk out of here feeling braver and bolder and stronger and more confident and clearer and more courageous to live the life that you were born to live. That is my commitment. That is my promise to you today. Now, I know a thing or two about disruption. Let me take you back to May 3rd of 2020. We're about 7 weeks into the pandemic. We are washing our groceries from the outsides of the bags, do you recall? Everyone is making sourdough bread, and you are meeting neighbors that you did not even know existed. My husband is teaching elementary school phys ed on Zoom from our basement for a year. This is not what he signed up for when he decided, I want to be a gym teacher. And I'm 7 months into starting my full-time speaking business after leaving my corporate job of 13 years. 85% of my business was gone in a matter of weeks. I was disrupted. One Sunday afternoon, on an overcast Sunday in Baltimore, my husband and I decide we're gonna go for a run. And so we're heading up a hill, we're chatting with each other in conversation. He's a few steps ahead of me. And as we approach the intersection, I didn't see it coming. There was a white Chevy Silverado pickup truck that was stopped in the right turn lane. And as I was running across the front of the truck, he decided to take a turn at the light directly into me. Now, I could sense this happening in my periphery, and so I turned my body to face the truck and put my hands on the hood like I'm gonna stop this thing, like I'm Superman. Obviously, I can stop a Chevy Silverado. But this guy didn't see me, and he keeps going into the intersection. I'm 2 to 3 feet off the ground. My hands are on the hood. I'm glued to the grill of the truck, and suddenly he realizes, oh my gosh, there's a human on the front of my truck. And he slams on the brakes, and I fly off. And I hit the ground hard. I feel like I got the wind knocked out of me. I can't breathe, and I look up and I see my husband, and he is on the other side of the intersection, frozen, watching the entire thing happen. He runs over to me and he picks me up and takes me to the sidewalk. And the next thing I know, I'm in an ambulance, being rushed to the hospital, where I am told I have a spinal fracture. You thought your 2020 was bad. I spent the next few months in a back brace. I slept in a recliner in my living room. There was no bending, lifting, or twisting for months, or even being hugged. And 24 hours, actually 48 hours after this accident happened, I'm on Zoom in a back brace delivering a presentation about building hope and resilience in the midst of uncertainty. You cannot make this stuff up. And yes, I picked that topic before I got hit by a truck. And you just have this moment where you think to yourself, like, how did I even get here? I didn't see this coming, and I made a decision in that moment, a very, very important decision, a critical decision that changed things for me going forward. Even though I didn't choose it, I'm gonna find a way to use it. That's the decision I made. You have that decision too. You know, in these moments that challenge us, you know what we tend to do? When we face a challenge, when everything feels overwhelming, when we feel like things are out of control, what we tend to do is we tend to silence ourselves. We're like, I don't want to be a bother. I don't want to be a burden. I'm just going to kind of hang back. I'm not going to say anything. When that happens, it's like our world can get very kind of dark and heavy and harder than it needs to be because we've made this decision that we can't speak up and we can't step up and that maybe we don't have what it takes and we let doubt fuel us. Now, you're no strangers to challenges in this room. I know you're facing, and the work that you're doing is helping you overcome a lot of the negative stigma in the industry. You're facing consolidation and talent shortages and rising labor and maintenance costs. And on top of that, oh, by the way, run the family, like we said this morning. You're making all the doctor's appointments and running around to 75 football practices and dance lessons and all the things, and like it's a lot. And sometimes you kind of feel like your head is spinning. And when you're going through that, when you're going through all that overwhelm, your instinct isn't, you know what? Let me advocate for myself. Let me ask for what I need. That is not what happens, right? That is not what we do. And in that moment where I was going through this experience, this really difficult experience, I decided, you know what, there's certain ways that I'm holding myself back that I don't want to hold myself back anymore. When you have a brush with death like that, when your life flashes before your eyes, you start to think to yourself, gosh, is there something I want to be doing that I haven't done? Is there maybe a regret that I have? That maybe I want to work toward that thing instead of staying in that place of regret? And I started to wonder. And maybe you're in that spot right now, personally or professionally. And if you are, I've got good news and I'm here to help. Because what I'm going to walk you through today is a roadmap that I've created, that I've guided thousands of people through to help you go from doubt and fear to confidence and courage. From stagnation to momentum. And from a place of stuckness to a place of aliveness. I am here to help you get unmuted. And the process I'm going to teach you to do that is something I call the voice method. Now, when we think about unmuting ourselves, it might just sound like, oh, speak up, but it's about so much more than that. Unmuting ourselves is about learning to trust ourselves and to get grounded in the truth of who we are and what we are capable of. It's about accepting the invitations that come our way and saying yes before we feel like we're ready. It's about recognizing that we are more capable than we give ourselves credit for. And at our core, if we're truly going to unmute ourselves, we have to believe that we are somebody who matters fundamentally. So my commitment is by the time you walk out of here today, you're going to be feeling all of those things. And you're going to have tools and insights and questions and a sense of conviction inside of yourself that is going to move you to take action on something that is important and meaningful to you.